All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Remy Sanchez, and I'm part of Energy Fitness, and welcome back to our home training program. So, today what we are going to work on is a handstand bridge. Now, like most videos, what's going to happen is that first we will have a warm-up, then we'll break down the skill, and then afterwards we'll do a conditioning. So, for the warm-up, the first exercise that we're going to do is warm up our wrists. So first, we are going to go on our knees, hands facing down on the mat, facing forward, do little circles. Do about 3 or 4 each way. Then have them go towards the walls, go towards the sides, then towards your knees, like so. And then if you want to do extra, you can put your palms up and have your fingers facing each other. Okay, after once your wrists are warmed up, it is time to do handstands. Do 3 or 4. Since the handstand bridge, this is a very essential component. So make sure you practice good form every time. And down. Do that about 3 or 4 times in order to understand that. Afterwards, we'll warm up the bridge. So we'll first go into a bridge. Like so. Then we'll rock. So really push to open your shoulders. Afterwards, when you're done that, we will walk. You can walk forwards and backwards. And then we will hop. Yep. And do that a couple times in order to get ready for your handstand bridge. Make sure that your hands and feet are as close as possible. Although I was not able to get them as close as I'd like them to be, try and bring your feet and your hands to almost that they're touching, if you can. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to use a wall. So here, we are going to be on our knees, and we are going to go arms up, and we're going to do back bend and put our hands on the wall, like so. And feel the stretch in your back. If that's easy for you, you can even go farther away. Push your hips forward and up. The goal here is to make sure that you bring your hips forward like so. If you sit back, you won't be able to arch as much. So what you do, arms up by your ears, push your hips forward and go backwards. If you do it like this, you see, I don't have an opportunity to arch back because I'm already too close to the wall, but also I don't even have enough for my arch. So make sure that you're here, arch, and back. So now what we are going to do is handstand against the wall with open shoulders and open hips. It will look like this. See that my hips are off the wall and they're nice and open. I'm not here. However, my bum is off and I'm pushing my hips forward. The next thing we're going to do is a back bend against the wall, and then we're going to try and walk all the way down to a bridge. Make sure, like we've done with the back bend on our knees, that our hips are as far forward as possible. Remember that your shoulders should be as far back as possible, as open as possible here. Many people will try and be here, but once you're down into the bridge, make sure that your shoulders are touching the wall. You start arms up, look back, hips forward, bum squeeze, walk all the way down. And then if you can, oh boy, walk all the way back up. Make sure your hips are that way. Okay guys, so the next thing that we're gonna do is a handstand bridge onto a block. Now what we are gonna do is we're gonna have a bunch of different sizes for you guys to understand that this happens, it happens incrementally, but also, if you don't have a household item that you can do a handstand bridge onto, that's the exact same height as this, that's okay. Just use whatever is slightly elevated and what you feel comfortable with doing handstand bridge onto. The higher up, just keep in mind that the higher the block or the higher the surface, the easier the skill will be. And as you get comfortable, you may feel that you'd want to go even lower. All right, let's begin. Lunge, handstand, bridge. So parents, this is how you spot a handstand bridge. This is another way to spot a handstand bridge in order to secure that your child has open shoulders as well as open hips. All right, and now onto a lower surface. Okay, so now we are on the lowest, the second to lowest surface. And here we're going to do about the same thing. And this is where it's extra important that your shoulders are open and your hips are open when you do this. Make sure that your feet are the first things that touch, not your bum, but your feet. All right, arms up. All right, guys. Now, once we are comfortable with the previous steps, it's time to try on the floor. Again, feel free to get a spot first if you need to. Yes! All right. That is the skill portion of the handstand bridge. Next is conditioning. Okay, so for our conditioning portion, what we are going to do is we're going to do bridge and press our shoulders to the wall. This is going to help us open our shoulders as well as squeeze our bum and push our legs. It'll look like so. Afterwards, in order to further use and understand the necessity of squeezing our bum and pushing with our legs and practice keeping our bum nice and tight, we're going to lie down and do hip lifts. Go up and down. Up and down, about 10 times. Then lastly, as a cool down, what we'll do is again, rock and roll. Feel free to do rock and rolls throughout the exercises that we've done today so that your back feels nice and limber and you don't pull a muscle. All right, so now that we are done our skill, what we're going to do is a general cool down, which will help you stretch every muscle in your body in order for you to rest and recuperate properly. The first thing we're going to do is warm up or work with our shoulders. We will take one arm, put it across our body, and press forward. Press into your chest. Then you will switch. Afterwards, take your wrist like so, put your elbow behind, and push backward. And do the other one. Then what we're going to do is child's pose. So we will go to our knees, our hands in, forward, and press our shoulders down to the ground. Afterwards, we will lie down on our back like so. And what we will do is bring our foot here. This is going into upper back, lower back, and glutes. The other side. Afterwards, what we will do is cobra. Go here, push up. Now that we've stretched out our upper and lower back, what we will do is go to our hips. We will start in butterfly. Hold our feet. However, if you're afraid of sickling your feet, you can hold your ankles like so and push your knees down. Then we'll go into straddle. We'll go to one foot, reach over with your opposite arm and grab as far as you can. Face the foot and go down. Go to the other side. Face the foot and go down. Then put our hands down and reach forward and do pancake. Now, if this is too hard, you can just reach this much forward. However, if you feel more advanced, you go all the way down. Do that a couple of times in order to cool down your hips. Afterwards, we go to pike position. So what we do is legs together, arms straight, legs straight, toes pointed, and reach down. Flex our feet and go down. Then we go to splits. So we start in a nice lunge, push forward. Straighten your leg, straight back, go down. Now, in both these positions, as well as the split, make sure that both hips are facing forward. So, when we go down to our split, go as far as you can while keeping your legs forward, while keeping your hips forward. Both hips facing the wall in front of you. Make sure that you're not here, but here. A good way in order to do this is turn your front leg out so that your hip stays here. Go all the way down as far as you can and hold. Back up, and then we'll do the other side. Push forward, both hips forward, legs straight, and down. And go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just do a little shakeout. And the last thing we will do is a middle split. So we will go here, go into our straddle, go forward, and push down, and hold. Hold each split for about 30 seconds, and then when you are done, do a little shakeout, and that will be our gymnastics stretch routine.